So here I'll be talking about the differences between the Estes Proto X and the Blade Pico QX. I'll be discussing the differences between the crafts, the radios, the charging systems, and what comes with them.
Team Baxter.
So I'm going to start with the craft, which is probably the determining factor for most people. The Estes Proto X, this is the original version. It does not do flips. Blade Pico X does. Estes Proto X does have a version called SLT with a much larger radio that will do flips. However, this version does not. Both quads carry pretty much the same design, just a single kind of a board frame with a charging point in the rear. You can see the charging point in the rear on both craft, along with a single power switch located in the circuit board on the bottom of each of them. They're both fairly delicate craft, but they seem to be able to take quite a bit of damage. There is no fixing with these. They probably could be fixed with a person who's highly experienced in small soldering. But the average person probably will not be repairing or servicing these. As you can see, the Blade version does have prop guards, kind of give it an extra edge for the learner, the new flyer, kind of keep him away from the walls and all. You hit the walls with these prop guards and the craft kind of just bounces back off the wall. They both have rechargeable batteries. You can fly these for just a few minutes and then they are put down and you have to wait for them to recharge. I'd say probably out of the box the Blade is a little easier to fly. It just seems to have a little bit more stability. This Proto X is a little squirrely. It likes to jump around, and it's a little quick little quad. Might be easier for a new user to fly the Pico around than this original version of the Estes Proto X. The Pico costs just a little bit more than the Proto X due to the fact that it has flips and that it's a Blade brand, kind of runs a premium price. They do both have lights. They both light up. Flip the switch on each of them. Both of them need charging, but it's enough just so that you can see the lights going on in them. Get those both turned back off. And that helps for orientation and a little bit of night flying in your home. I don't recommend flying either one of these outside too much unless there's little to no wind. I have successfully flown the Proto X outdoors with mild success, but these are both generally indoor craft, not to be used outdoors too much. Moving on to the radios, we have the much larger Pico QX radio and the smaller Estes radio. Both of these are very plasticky. However, the Estes radio takes two AAA batteries inside the back case under the screw, whereas the Pico QX is charged by the provided charger through that port there. I haven't had enough time with the Pico QX to determine whether this is a good factor or a bad factor, but I will say that I do like the amount of weight that the batteries add to this radio. The Pico QX radio without those batteries instantly feels much lighter and more plasticky. However, once you start flying, there seems to be just a little bit of difference in the Pico QX controller, and that could be because of the size. It gives you a little something more to hold on to. That may also help with the flying, as you're not fighting to keep a good grip on your radio. This could be subjective, person to person, but it's my experience that the Pico goes up, and I just don't feel like I'm trying as hard with this radio as I am with this one. I feel like the Pico may be a little bit slower than the Proto X, and that may be also to the controllability. These controls are a little bit tighter than the Blade controller. I feel like this may be dialed down just a little bit, but who knows. As far as that, they're both 2.4 gigahertz controllers. Can't really complain about them. They do what they're supposed to do, and that's it. Not really too much difference in them besides the obvious size difference and the fact that this one holds 2 batteries and this one does not, changing the weight dramatically. For chargers, the Estes provides a good long charger to plug their heli into. As I showed you before, it just gets plugged into the rear port there, and then that plugs into any USB port. E-Flight has given you a dedicated LiPo charger that plugs in just the same way. Also plugs into the radio in the Pico's case for charging. Both of these chargers plug right into your own USB port or USB wall charger, and that's about it. Not much there to talk about. And both units come with a spare set of blades. It seems just about like the same set of blades, same shape, and pretty much the same thing with different colors, maybe different plastic and all. But so that's about it as far as the differences between them go. I do know of aftermarket prop guards that you can buy for this Proto X. It's just that they don't come with it. If you're an experienced flyer, prop guards may not be a big issue for you. They are not for me. Just a novelty. I would say that both of these helis are toys. Good for flying around the house, and not much more than that. These are really fun in a big open space like a gym or auditorium and all, but as I said before, not too much flying outside. So the Pico looks a little bit larger, but it is not, of course. It's just because of the prop guards. They're actually pretty much the same size. Their profiles are very similar, and that's about it. It'd be pretty neat if one of them came out with the octocopter Estes Proto X Blade Pico QX.